everybody. Welcome to Q&A. That's right. We're going to answer your most pressing career-related questions. Absolutely. I am Dorothea Kelly, the founder of Workspace Spark. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Click that bell button so you can make sure that you are notified every time we have a new video up. So I have some questions here. Let me see. Can't make my little fan here, but I have your questions. These were sent in. If you have some questions that you want us to answer, you can drop it right beneath this video in the comments, and we will answer your questions. So let's get started here. We got some good ones. I hope you guys like my answers because you know I don't hold them up, and we've got some doozies here. So let's get going. Okay, so before I do though, remember, there's no bad questions. I like to have fun with this. I don't want you guys to think I'm mean, so don't be scared to send your question in. It's okay. All right, here we go. In my new role, this is a long one. Follow along with me here. In my new role with the new company, I'm finding that I'm not as prepared as I thought I was for what's needed to move my team. What can I do as the supervisor to increase my skill set while still leading because I don't want to quit? Oh, don't quit. I feel as though I can do it, but I need some help before I sink. Okay, good. Yes. Don't quit. No. We don't quit. You got this new role. You like it. It's a bit much. A couple things you need to remember is that on any job, when you first get started, you're just trying to learn the lay of the land. And then you've also coupled that with having to manage a team. So what I would suggest that you do, number one, is definitely bone up on any leadership training that you can, not just within the company, but on your own. Spend your money getting some leadership training, learning how to manage your team, because that adds a whole other element when you're used to being an individual contributor and now you have to manage a team that's doing the work. It's a whole other ball game. So do that first. Definitely do your leadership training. The other thing is find, and this, what I want to say is find a mentor within the organization and without and outside of the organization. Sometimes within can be tricky. So you know your environment. You don't want to go to somebody who's going to say, oh, so you got hired and you didn't know what you were doing. You don't want that person. You want somebody who is genuinely there and committed and determined to help you succeed. If you don't know of anyone within the company that you can trust to do that, look for somebody on the outside. I even say, of course, being into careers and money, get a career coach, somebody who is experienced in what you are, your role and where you are, and you can talk to that person and they can help guide and navigate you. If this is related to the actual work itself, training, a lot of companies have those interest sites where there's a lot of training. Check out LinkedIn Learning. Do whatever you need to do to learn the role. I don't want you to think that you needed to know everything possible to be successful in this role, because you don't. A lot of people get jobs. We've all seen where a lot of people jump into roles that they are not qualified for, don't know what they're doing, and they never figure it out. So you are a step ahead in that you know a little bit about it. You know enough about it to have gotten the role. You know that you need help and you are willing to get it. So go do those things. Find mentors within and without the organization. Do your own training, pay for your own training, get a career coach if you need to. Definitely learn leadership. Who do you know that has been in leadership for years? Who's maybe a director or VP or something like that, that can help you navigate what you're going through and experiencing from a leadership standpoint. So that's what I would suggest for you there. If you need more clarification on that, please drop it in the comments. All right. Next question. Ooh, dream job question. I like it. I have the opportunity to work at my dream job, but it is a contract position, which means it's not full-time with all the benefits and all the perks. With, well, she says it, with no benefits and no retirement plan. I'd be earning the same as I do now and wouldn't miss a beat. My husband is nervous, even though we're covered under his insurance plan and have savings. What I like about this is you won't miss a beat and you've got insurance. You know, a lot of times the reason to get a full-time job, to be in an organization full-time, is for the perks, the vacation time, the time off, the benefit of 401k and health insurance. You can take your retirement plan that you currently have, move it over into an IRA, penalty free, as long as you don't take any money out. You can shift that money over into an IRA and begin to continue to add to it. You said that your salary won't change. So just shift and start putting into that IRA. As far as the insurance, your husband has the insurance. You're covered under the insurance. It's a contract position, which means that they can let you go at any time, but it's a dream job. That's the piece right there. So I don't care if you only do it for 6 months. It's something you've always wanted to do, and you'll get that experience, and that'll be on your resume. As far as with your husband, I can understand his trepidation, because a lot of us, we are very much, we're taught to do things a certain way. When you get a job, you get a full-time job. You know, you handle things a certain way. We don't know all the other ways that people are living and working and being out here. And a lot of people only work contract, but that's because they can. They have insurance and other things, other places like you do. So I say go for it, but don't go for it and not take into account what your husband is feeling. You need to reassure him simply that you guys will not miss a beat. It's a dream job. And that if it doesn't go well, you go out and get another job. So to that end, it is a contract position. So keep networking. Make sure you don't leave your current job. Don't burn that bridge, because you may need to go back, or you may need a reference to go somewhere else. If this dream job doesn't hire you in full time or what have you, or maybe you decide you want to do a couple more contract positions. Contract positions can be fun, especially once you've gotten to a certain point in your career, like it sounds like you have, where you've done a lot of stuff. So now you want something new and different. So now you do a couple contract positions, 6 months to a year at a time, maybe even 2 years. Some last longer, and you're getting different experience. And it helps break up a monotonous career, definitely, especially when it's a dream position. So I'm excited for you, but make your husband feel good. Let him know that you hear him, you acknowledge him, and that you're not poo-pooing his concerns, but that you need to just address all of his concerns and cover it. And congratulations to you. This is amazing. All right. Here's one. Okay. All right. When we have meetings, I prefer to turn my camera off. It's not mandatory that we have them on. Recently, a coworker made a joke about it, and that makes me think it's a problem. Should I ask my manager? I labeled this under soft skills and culture. So there are hard skills and there are soft skills. Hard skills are the technical things. Can you do the work? Soft skills are your demeanor, your personality, how you show up at work, how you interact with your colleagues and with your leaders. So this is soft skills and understanding the culture. A couple things. If everybody at work has their cameras off, okay, cool, right? If some do, some don't, I would lean toward having my camera on. So, and there may be some days we have some bad days and you just like, okay, today I need camera off. But I would not let that be your norm for a couple of reasons. As a leader, I can tell you that looking out to a screen, we're trying to have a meeting and it's all just black with names or whatever little funny picture you have up there. Hopefully it's a professional picture in a professional meeting. It's deflating to the leader, or to, even if it's not a leader, maybe it's one of your colleagues who's hosting it or whatever. It's kind of deflating and it doesn't energize as much. Honestly, if I were the leader, I would ask that all cameras be on during meetings, because in our new virtual world, It is very hard to keep team morale, to keep things going. What you can do is if you do need to have your camera off, you can just, I am your manager and say, hey, um, need to have my camera off today. That way the manager knows you're not blowing them off. Forget what your team thinks. It's none of their business really. And that is the truth. But this is a culture thing. This is also a career thing. And I'm going to tell you why. When you show up on camera together, ready to rock and roll, still looking professional, I don't care if everybody else is on there in their sweatpants, including your boss. I have had many roles where I dressed better, showed up sharper, not just in my looks, but in my competence than my leaders. Don't worry about that. You show up how you show up. I believe in showing up in excellence, head to toe in everything. Well, maybe not to toe because, I might or might not have on leggings and slippers right now, but waist up. Turn the camera on, do your thing, show them that you're a rock star. That doesn't mean that if you have to turn the camera off every now and then, it's no big deal. The other one, I want to speak on this career thing. Go back here. You want people to see you, to notice you, to remember you and remember your face, because we're still getting promoted in this virtual world. We're still looking for jobs and different things and new projects to be included on. And you want your leader to see your face, even if their camera's off. Okay. So my rule of thumb is camera on. I want them to see that I'm ready together and I came to work. I know everybody has a different thing. I can't wait to see the comments on this, but that's just my thing. We show up and we show out. Okay. All right. This one is around salary. Okay. What is the best way to handle a salary reduction on a job? Get up and go to work. I don't know. Sorry, no, I do know. But that's my thing. Listen, this happens. So you got to get up and keep going to work. Be thankful that you still have a job. That's part A. If it's just something you just can't handle, you're like, this is too low in my family and we need the money, start looking for a new job. If they have done a salary reduction, they're most likely trying not to lay people off. And it might not last long. If it's been a case where you have been considering leaving anyway, look for another job, but don't leave that job until you find another job. Okay? Just keep getting up, going to work. It's all you really can do because the company has made their decision. They're not going to reverse it for you. They'd have to reverse it for everybody. It'd be HR nightmare if they didn't. So they're not in a position to, or they're trying to cut costs somewhere and they did it with salaries. If you just can't take it, it's unbearable for you financially, completely and 110% understood, go find another job. And here's the other thing. When you go find that other job, you'll probably make 20% more. Even in bad economy, when people are hiring, they still pay. So that's my answer to that. All right. I'm gonna say that. Okay. All right. This is another one on salary. All right. I recently accepted a job that is a huge step backwards, less pay, doesn't pay the bills. Ooh, we gotta pay the bills. I'm stressed out totally. Am I making a mistake or should I try to get my unemployment back on track and keep looking for what I deserve? So there's a lot here. So the job is a huge step backwards and less pay. And then you're asking if you should get your unemployment back. Well, the only way to get your unemployment back is to be fired. If you quit that job, you will not get unemployment. So that's not really an option. But your question makes me think you were getting more unemployment than at this job. Plus the fact that you are completely stressed out and it doesn't pay the bills. We got to pay the bills. So keep the job, keep looking for another job while you're working there, because at least you have some money coming in. You can't get unemployment if you quit a job. So that's not really even an option. But I want to talk about the stressed out totally part and the not paying the bills part. Keep pushing, get a second job, do whatever you need to do to make ends meet. Because I'd rather you be a little bit tired working two jobs than completely stressed out and worried about bills. So do that for now until you can find a job that will pay the bills, and you can work one job and be at peace. Okay. All right. Okay. I like this one. Mentor. Okay. This is about mentoring. I'm just getting started in my corporate path and would love for my director to mentor me. Yay. How do I ask her to mentor me? Okay. Your director is a very busy woman. You're just getting started. So I wouldn't start by asking her to mentor you. The thing about working with your director is you're already going to be mentored by her in the day-to-day work she has you doing and the questions that you ask her. So there's no need to formally ask her to be your mentor. What you should do is when you're in meetings with her and when you're in your one-on-ones, ask certain. So at the beginning of the one-on-one, handle all the work stuff. At the end of every one-on-one meeting, ask a mentoring-like question related to your professional goals. She'll most likely love to answer. You know, people who are in those positions who have seen a few things in corporate world love to answer and give back. So don't go and officially ask her to mentor you. Just put some questions in whenever you guys meet around a professional development question that you might have. Now, I do think that you should get a mentor though, somebody who is a couple steps ahead of you. If you're an individual contributor, somebody who's a manager or director. If you're a manager, somebody who's a director or VP, and so on and so forth. It doesn't have to be within your own organization. It could be outside of your organization, or you can have both, one in, one out. Having somebody in the organization is definitely wonderful because they can help you navigate the ins and outs, the lay of the land, but it's not always necessary. You just need to get help knowing how to navigate the corporate world, grow in your profession, and that kind of things. But let's just pause here on mentoring. A lot of times people look at mentoring and they're looking for somebody to meet with them for an hour once a week. No, not happening. People don't have that kind of time. And you, as the mentee, you need to have all your questions that you want to ask, and they shouldn't be like a 10 list of questions. When you find a mentor outside of your director, inside or outside the organization, it's maybe a once a month meeting. Think about your top 3 questions and get a 30-minute meeting, good quality answers on those top 3 at a time. Don't try to just go do this litany because you won't be able to spend enough time on a full list of questions. Think about your top 3. And sometimes this can be on email. Some people are mentors by default without there even being formal mentorship. So maybe some of your questions are via email. I used to email people and say, hey, this happened. What do you think about this? How should I handle this? I didn't say, hey, will you be my mentor and help me, blah, blah, blah. But that's mentoring as well because you're getting advice. So just think about those things. That was just a quick little tip there. All right. This one is about leadership. Okay. We have a special project coming up, and last week I asked my team to all be available. Thus, no vacations or days off during the next 3 weeks. One of my team members sends an email a week later stating that they purchased tickets already to go out of town. Well, isn't that just convenient? What's interesting here is that they did it a whole week later. It's like, did you go home and think this through and say, hey, let me go buy my tickets, and they can't say no? This is a problem. Because they have purchased tickets, you most likely will have to let them go on the vacation. But this would require a very straight up conversation with them. And this will also require some acceleration on their part for their deliverables for this project. Because the other team members are going to be like, wait a minute, you said nobody could take any time off. So before you say yes, make sure they're telling the truth about, number one, that they actually did book the tickets. Because I've had this happen where somebody told me they booked the tickets, and I just looked at them and I said, well, I told you not to request any time off. And then I was silent and to see what else they would say. And then they came back with, okay, let me see what I can do. Because guess what? They hadn't really booked the tickets. So I say, hey, this is what we said. I let them go back and come back and tell me. If they come back and they say, well, I did book the tickets and this, I let, what are you going to do? Everybody's an adult. Let them go. But okay, these are your deliverables for this project. Do whatever you need to do to make sure that the team doesn't suffer and that your deliverables are ready while you're gone. The other piece of this is they can work while they're gone if they have a laptop. And I know that sounds mean. And I would never do this. I would never tell a team member to work while they're on vacation, except I asked you not to book any time off. Now, if we were in that meeting and somebody raised their hand and said, oh, Dorothea, I just booked tickets to whatever. That's different because you told me right then and there. You didn't wait a week later. So now let's have a different conversation. But we still need those deliverables. Okay. So it's all in how you handle it. It doesn't have to be a mean conversation, does not need to be confrontational, does not need to seem like you're dropping the hammer, but does need to be straightforward and clear. Because your other team members, your staff, they're watching how you handle this. And you're also probably in a team meeting going to have to talk about this in front of everybody. So there's no guessing and no trying to figure it out. Like, how did they get to go? You're going to have to be straightforward and handle this head on with this person and with the team. Okay, what do we have here? Let me see. I don't like those two. Let me grab another one. Let's see. Oh, these two are good. Okay, last two. I'd like to go to a conference in the fall, hoping everything will be okay by then. Should I ask my boss or is it too soon since we literally just got back in the office part-time? Ye have not because ye ask not, There's nothing wrong with asking. The answer can only be yes or no. When you go, though, just like whether it was a difficult time or not, whenever you are asking for the company to pay for training or anything like that, in your email, include how it would benefit the company, what you'll bring back, what you'll learn. All you can do is ask. It doesn't matter whether you're in the office or out of the office. And depending on how things are going, it may end up being virtual anyway. So it doesn't matter really. It's really going to be about the company's budget and if they have allocated training budget for this year. So I don't think it's a problem to ask, and ask confidently. Don't ask sheepishly. Ask as if you expect to be able to go. So here's sheepish. Dorothea, I know it's not a good time, but there's this really good conference that I wanted to go to. I think it would help with this, and this. You led with, it's not really a good time. So you already planted that seed in your leader's mind that, no, that's right. This isn't a good time. Versus, hey, Dorothea, I found this really cool conference that I believe would really help with some things that we're doing in the department. I'd love to go. Who do I ask? Or not, maybe not who do I ask, but how do I go about requesting to attend? Something like that. Something that says, I expect to be able to go. So how do I start the process? That's how you want to ask. Okay. This one is on leadership. No. I have 2 staff members that are friends. Ooh, good luck with that. And one feels like he's on the same level professionally as the other, but it's quite the contrary. How do I have a conversation with this employee to encourage him to take on more courses to build his skill set without deflating his ego and desire to continue to perform? I believe in direct conversations. Good luck to you having hired 2 friends that work in your department. This could be, it's a conversation for another day. But anyway, this is some of the stuff that comes up. because if one friend sees the other friend getting projects or promotions or things, they're wondering, well, we do this, why am I not getting it? Well, it's because your skill set is not there. Maybe that person's been in the department longer, maybe they have more experience, that kind of thing. I wouldn't have this conversation in light of saying like comparing them to. What I would do is talk to them in your one-on-ones, talk to them about, what they're doing great and where the opportunities are. Don't say like, now this is where you need to improve, but here are some opportunities for you. And when you give them opportunities, don't just give them opportunities with no solutions, right? Give them opportunities and say, well, and here are some things that I suggest you do to work on those things, or how you phrase it in a nice way. And then when you do your one-on-ones and say, and what I would like for you to do is I don't know how often you do one-on-ones, whether they're weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, but once a month, not every week, have that person tell you how they're progressing on those opportunities for improvement that you suggested. So it's not like you gave them opportunities, then at the end of the year, you ask them, well, did you do? And they're like, no, then have some accountability. Not where you're constantly asking them, but tell them once a month in our one-on-one, at the end of it, I want you to tell me how you're progressing. That to me, it empowers them versus comparing them to their friend and colleague and making them feel bad. And it gives them a roadblock. So they know, number one, if I don't come with a report, how can I ask for extra projects or more money or anything else? Because I haven't done what I've been told to do here. Okay. All right. So that was that. Good stuff. Remember, drop your questions for Q&A in the comments below. I will answer them. Check out workspacespark.com. Subscribe, share. We have so many good things, great trainings, everything, so much coming up. You want to make sure you're in the know, and we will talk to you next time. All right. Bye.